like where you're sitting. Get here early. You can sit wherever you want tomorrow. Just stay close to me. That behind over there, it's all limited.
Cribs, that's not safe.
No, it's not. I call that later. Get here early.
Okay, get there. I ain't enjoying your lunch. I'm sitting right
That's funny. All right, transformation. So, if we have a function f of x, let's start with the easy one, a vertical shift. That's probably the easiest one. Moving it up or down. All right, vertical shift would just be your function plus k. You want to move it down, k is going to be negative, but that's a vertical shift. So if I have just this function, this is f of x. Oh. Alright, so f of x plus 1 would just move the entire thing up 1. Okay? Just moves your function up 1. If we had f of x minus 2. It doesn't do anything except move your function up and down. That's a vertical shift. That's K. Can I move this? Alright, horizontal shift. Move it left or right. H units. This one's confusing a little bit because remember this is the one where the sign changes. So if I have f of x plus h, okay, this is h, it's going to be over here. So it's negative 2. X plus h. It's going to go over there. Okay? It's going to go negative 2 over. Opposite. Minus 2. Alright, we're going to look at this as a real life problem. See what the difference is, okay? Alright, G of M gives the number of gallons of gas required to drive N miles. So what's different between the g of m plus 10 versus the g of the quantity of m plus 10? What's different about those two? But what's that have to do with gallons of gas and miles driven?
In the top one, you start when you already have 10 gallons inside.
Alright, and the top one you're adding that 10 to the output, right? So on the top one, that's 10 gallons, you started with 10 gallons more than you need, right? So what about the bottom one? Ten more miles, yeah. That's exactly what that is. That's 10, you're adding 10 more miles to it, yes. 10 miles more than m miles. Good. So about reflection. Alright.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
We're still on the gallons or?
You did that. I don't like how the book writes it. Actually, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. For a vertical reflection, okay, if you want a vertical reflection, which means that you are reflecting it over the x-axis. Okay, I just want you to visualize that for a minute. If you are reflecting something over the x-axis, which variable is changing? The y, okay? So a vertical reflection, the y, or the output changes, okay? So for a vertical reflection, you need a negative f of x, okay? Basically, all the y's will change. So if you're reflecting it horizontal reflection, which would be across the x-axis, the y-axis, sorry, the x's are changing. So instead of this, you want this. All the x's. What's the difference between these two? This and this. What's the difference between those two? What's f of x? It's your y. Okay, so these are negative y's. And what's being changed here? The x is being changed. Okay, so this is changing the y, because y's are changing signs, and this one the x's are changing signs. Okay, great. Alright, let's talk about even and odd. Now that we're changing signs. By the way, if you can change all of those signs and come up with the exact same function again, then you have an even function. If you change all of those signs and come up with the exact same function, but it's negative, then it's an odd function. And just like we were talking about symmetry, an even function has symmetry with the y-axis. And an odd function has symmetry with the origin. We did this last year also. Obviously, it was one of the easiest things we did. Alright, if I put a negative into this problem, what's negative x times negative x? X squared, right? Is the original exactly the same as the new one? So that's an even function. Okay, when the original is exactly the same. Let us see it. Come on. Alright, look at this one. If I put a negative into this one, negative, 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 the final sign is negative. It's a negative x to the third minus 2x. Every sign changed, so that one's odd. Every sign changed. They can be neither. If I put a negative in here, that's going to be 2x squared minus x. One side changed and one side didn't, so this is a neither. I'll let you get that written down. Let me pause it. You have k times f of x, where k is a constant. That's how you get a vertical stretch or compression. If k is greater than 1, then it's stretched. If k is between 0 and 1, then it's compressed. If k is less than 0, then it's flipped and it's been stretched or compressed. Alright, if you have your graphing calculator or your Freezer calc, get that out. I want to look at some of these. That's an or, sorry. Detail. Freaker Calc on my iPad. I have the worst trouble in the world downloading on the school Wi-Fi. Like, it just doesn't even want to open. With the VPN on, it won't do it at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I have to turn it
If
on.
I turn the VPN off, it's better. It's still hitting this. We'll use this until that now. Because it could be like a year. Oh, full quick one. Maybe not. Alright. So, I would like for you to start off just graphing. Let's just do x squared.
Did you zoom out?
Did I zoom out? I don't really know what it's on.
Yeah, because mine's a lot bigger. But
No. No. Well, this is not
carrot.
and save it. Graph it. Alright, so there's x squared. Okay. Now, remember, if k is greater than 1, it's stretched. So now I want you to look at, let's go and let's do 2x squared. See that blue one? That's stretched, right? It looks skinnier, okay? It looks like, well, that one looks smaller, so why is that? Because it's times 2. It's getting where it's supposed to be faster. I've doubled how fast it's getting to where it's supposed to be. So that's a stretch. It's like someone took it and they put their foot on the bottom of it and went like this, okay? And they stretched it out. All right? Now go back and let's do a half. So that's going to be a compression. See that green one? See how it's wider? Okay? It's compressing it, it's pushing it down. Alright? Pushing it down. Okay? A lot of times people get the stretches and the compressions mixed up because they just sort of seem backwards. But that's why it's stretched, because it's getting to where it's supposed to be faster, and compressed because we're pushing it down. We're cutting in half, basically, how fast it's supposed to be getting where it's going. Okay? Alright. We're going to stop with stretches and compressions. If you look in your book, if you decide you want to look in the book at some point before you graduate, if you like graduating and you want to do it, I suggest you look in your book. See all these problems here with these transformations? How each function's transformation of the original, and you can talk about it and everything, and then table of values, and then look, there's even a second page. The one thing that we didn't talk about yet is a horizontal stretch for compression, but like horizontally, see number 55, horizontally compressed, we just can't get there today. Skip it off with that track now. But, again, let me strongly suggest that you do practice problems that are not assigned to you. You need to practice. You need to practice. Tomorrow we'll do inverse functions and we'll be done with chapter 1. Anito.
I also got this last test, so that will be on this test.
Yeah. Any questions? If we don't cover it, if I decide to skip it, it won't be on there. Why are you breaking stuff?
I didn't know if I got moved.
The good news for those of you whose parents check your grades, that quiz won't show up unless you make something worse. So. You're like, yes, there's hope.
So I don't have to tell them about this one?
Yeah.
If I know I'm gonna make
You
it.
can't see it at all. Can't you hear it show up at all? Hi. Well, I have a great day. Oh, I check it pretty great. I have a timer set on my phone. Yes, I'm a grade checker. You can get one. You need to go see Miss Smith in the office because I got a paper for my kid's school, so Miss Smith has that. Yeah, you need to check it. Anytime you check it. Thank you.
That was interesting. Like, they were talking about, like, turning 40, and I was like, I'm turning 40, and y'all are all there, like, everyone, like, none of them look like they would be 40, so I was so confused.
Who was in the group?
Her, Miss Flanagan, and Miss McCann. I knew Miss McCann was older than 40.
Miss McCann, she turned 50, I think. Was it last year? Because remember we put all that black paper over the door? And we put remember that?
I remember
I think that was last year. I don't remember.
I remember doing that. I remember for one of the teachers for school, we did the whole, do you remember that big circle building, and we did the whole thing in black wallpaper, and we had some cute little thing.
What's up, Travis?
You were there, you got
Huh?
yeah,
I haven't brought all my homework to you guys. 10, 11, 15. I did some months ago. I did. Who? Just a kid. Just a buddy. Who's that?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
I know who it is. He's kind of gay. He's kind of bald-headed. So let me think. I got a grandkid. Going to bed? How's going to bed? How's going to bed?
Never did. That much more than that.
See? That's not gonna. What's that take out of college?
Oh man, if I just lay in this bottle right here, getting in the gold.
your teacher's so bright.
Your teacher is bright.
Sure.
If it all works out.
No, I'm bright.
Based on the
She said, no!
I already told her what we're going to.
No, I told you last
But why?
night.
What are you gonna do for us?
I'm going to make this place. Yeah, I'm going to make it. I have like a scratch on a home. Like, I'm probably, it's a big deal. And this is
What are you just like, I just want to see what you're
No, I'm
gonna do
returning
for us.
big ass food yesterday. I'm gonna return it. Something that's big money.
You're not.
Ashley.
Oh, we're not.
Good luck. Good luck.
Right out there.
Well, listen, what are y'all gonna do for us?
That's right.
Right now, y'all, neither one of y'all, none of the candidates are worthy. They,
Yeah, like for senior class, like, her and Ashley are working together the other day. Yeah, and class.
go to the beach. That's a good way. What?
Sean Paul. Okay.
Sean Paul.
You're not getting to slow down.
Sean Paul.
We're gonna close that.
Hey, was that your turn that you want on or something?
Did you get a new one?
I've never had that, but it's
Anyway, he was gone. That's the same one.
Lordy, Lord, Harvey Lord. Is it?
Oh, that's deep. You guys.
I don't know. He was nowhere.
Or it could be your quiz scores. I don't know.
No, I'm sitting
Happy birthday,
There she is.
There's our birthday girl.
That 40-year-old.
I didn't get. I had to wait, dude.
Okay, so I'm not feeling my cookie.
What was this?
I'm not feeling my cookie. You have to give it to me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty decent on it. I'm ready. I'm prepared for something.
See, I just took one. I thought she was like,
And I was in his truck. I was 90 miles empty. I don't know.
But I do want to let
He would answer his phone. He left his phone.
next thing she grabbed was the paper I have on here that over up that right there. She put it in the next thing. I thought it was my head. No, I didn't know it. She had her hand. I was like, crawled up under the table. She ready to go for it. Every single what? What about a school board meeting? We got one of those? I left my phone in your class. You fixing it out today, till around 6 o'clock Friday. Well, Miss what's her name? Miss Haskell. She's like, I don't know if we're keeping it, so she unlocked it. But it was Coach Nix's room. I was like,